One, I am Reverend Tress Phillips, Center for Spiritual Living. It's a thrill to see you here, whether you're here in person, and there'll be people arriving as I speak, and that's fine too, because we are enjoying Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Now, I ask if you wish to please join me in a morning meditation. And we will wait a moment while everyone gets settled here. And we become quiet and still. Breathe in, release. In, release. Now, if you hear any noise other than my voice, remember it is just noise. It may be something in the background, or sometimes it's our brain talking, the monkey brain. Just let it go. And honor yourself and be right here, right now in this meditation, because this meditation is for you. For you. Inhale, exhale, release, relax, release, relax. Release, relax. Feel your body become more calm, deeper, quieter, more peaceful. In, out, in, calm, out, release. In, calm, out, release. Know with me that each moment is a divine gift. Know with me that each breath is a breath from the divine. Be you. And I take this moment to ask you, in this quiet time, who are you? You are someone to be loved. You are someone to be cherished. You are someone to be known for the beautiful, wonderful, divine expression of the one mind. There is no perfection in the divine. There is already the whole and complete. So if there is any criticism, any nigglies going on in the brain, any memory of I told you so's or this happened because, whatever, sweep it away. Just like you might sweep away the leaves and see instead the pure life form that you are. Not just the human arms and legs and head and whatever else and however you see yourself, but the true spirit of the life force that is in you. Because you, as a life force, you always have been. You are now on this human experience, and you always will be. You think of the beautiful life, continual flow of energy. And as we learn through life, we are expanding our knowledge. We are becoming higher and higher and higher in our spiritual being by identifying the beauty and the soul of who we are. So from my heart to your heart, thank you for being you. And I'm going to say that again so you know I really mean it. From my heart to your heart, thank you for being you. For being you, I learn. For being you, I am blessed. For being you, I am reminded of a higher power that created miracles. And I look at each one here and know the people who are listening at whatever time. You are a gift to the world. However you may present yourself, you are a teacher to those around you. Thank you for being you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale the beauty of the life. Exhale, let go of anything undesirable. Know that the body, the physical form, is a creation of the divine. That the body from the very toe up to the top of the head, to the very tips of the fingers, is whole, complete. That the circulation of life not only goes through the spirit and the soul, but goes through the human form, the body. Any section, any part that may be causing any concern, see that concern totally flushed away, released, gone, and see the total purity of the divine white light of the spiritual truth of the God essence in, as, and through all. See the God essence reaching down, touching, blessing, cleansing, and within your heart, your mind, your soul, see and know yourself as a perfect, whole, complete physical form in a human experience. Today is Father's Day. Many fathers cross our lives. There are some people we may not even be connected to genetically, yet they were our father. There are times when there are ladies who we feel are our father. It is life. It is beauty. It is the love of the mankind, the womankind, the divine mind seen. And we choose to see through the eyes of a father, and see this brand new little human being, totally innocent to the world. Its little eyes opening, and it's hearing the sounds of the birthing room or wherever it first realized it was alive. And we see with our heart the Father looking upon this innocent child, realizing, oh my goodness, what a gift has been bestowed into my life. This little child that will be with me forever, we hope. And we turn to our higher power and ask, show me how to be a father. I feel the love, but show me. And we think of that for our Father looking at us. We think of that for our grandfather looking at our Father. And we see that for many generations. What a gift a father is. So I take this moment to say thank you, Dad. Thank you, brother. Thank you, husband. Thank you, son. Thank you, grandsons, who may one day be fathers. I honor the role that you take on in life. And I honor the mothers who are mother fathers, or the couples who are female fathers. I honor the Father. And all I can really say with my heart, my soul, is thank you, Dad and Grandpa. And I see my life on the journey and know that I too have a role to play, to live my life the best I can, to make the world I live in and around me the best I can for the elder fathers, the fathers with teenagers, young children, or the little ones that will one day be fathers. I will do my best to make this world a better place for the new children. For it is divine mind in me, divine mind in each new baby, divine mind in each father, and incredible, untouchable divine mind and love in the love of a father and a child. I let go, I release. I know that I am one with the divine. I give thank you for that. Thank you for you for being here, and thanking just the opportunity to be able to share this morning meditation, June 20, 2021, with everyone who connects. Release. relax, be, and now together we will say, and so it is.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Judy Anderson, and it is my delight to say thank you for being with us, whether you're in this room or whether you're in your home, maybe at your kitchen table with a cup of coffee. And we've got a special treat today. I think, now Reverend Gail was here, and there she is. Reverend Gail, are you going to tune us in by playing the bowls for us? All right. So is that going to happen or not? Okay.
Okay, yeah, good.
Thank you, Reverend Gail. And while you're still on your feet, will you come and do an opening spiritual mind treatment for us?
Good morning, each and every one. Out in Facebook land, wherever you are, we welcome you this morning, and everyone that's in this sanctuary this morning. So let us just come together, close our eyes, and and let us feel the God within us right here and right now. And as we come together this morning, we know that it is what they call Father's Day today, so we welcome each person that classes himself as a father, mother, whatever that is for you. And we give thanks for those people. We give thanks for each one. We give thanks for every person that is classed as a father, and also know that you are truly blessed. As we gather together this morning, I know that we are one with God in every aspect. We take time each day to feel that, excuse me, to feel that part of us that is totally, totally immersed in that God essence. The God essence that surrounds us each moment. The God essence that is us. The God essence that is within and without. I give thanks for this time. I give thanks for this day. I give thanks for every person on this planet. I know that as we go about our path, we meet new people. We welcome them into our life. We welcome them with open arms. We welcome them just as they are and approve of what happens. We don't have to like it, but we can still approve of it and love them. So let us just know that as we travel, we meet each and every kind of person that there possibly is, and we help them. We bring them forward. We bless them. For life is full of blessings, full of love, full of trust, full of whatever that is that we need inside of us. So again, I know that each one of you are welcome in this building today, and each one that is outside of this building is also welcome to be that God self, that beautiful self, encouraging, loving, trusting, creative. And we give thanks once again for each and every moment that we are able to give of ourselves, knowing that life is good, God is good, and so are we. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Gail. And to continue, let's read our opening affirmation together. If you have the blue sheet, or if you're in your home, I hope you have it on your computer or that you've printed it off. In this moment, I experience the highest and best within me, which is the very substance and spirit of God. Here is my peace and my power, my abundance and my joy. Confidently, I take ownership of all that I am, and so experience all that life is, and so it is. And we do have an announcement or two. As you're probably all aware, we're still abiding by wearing face masks and social distancing. And we hope that's going to change after July 1st. But for the present time, that is still how we have to do it. And the other thing is Pat here? I'm right here. Oh, you're right here. Did you want to talk about the casino? No, all right, not necessary. Thank you. That takes care of it. So let's go to our children's message for the day. And they've got a long word, but it's easy to understand. Purposefulness. So being purposeful begins with a vision or an idea of what you want to do or to be. Before you start something, you ask yourself, what do I really want to accomplish? Or what do I really need? This is your vision and your goal. Then you ask yourself, what makes this so important to me? The answer to this is your purpose. Now you're ready to act. Once you know your vision, what you want to accomplish, and what you really want to experience, then you come to action, and it begins with an affirmation. God in me does great stuff. Will you repeat it with me? God in me does great stuff. Thank you. And I see we have Jim Taylor with us today. You're going to give us a number or two, Jim?
I'm Ruth, and I'm an aide in long-term care. And if you'd care to hear, there's some things I'd like to share. I'm paid a crappy wage and I have no benefits. I can't find full-time work, so I have two more jobs like this. We're always understaffed, so every shift is go, go, go. It lays a heavy burden on my body and my soul. I ache at the end of every day. My shoulders, back, and feet scream, this is not okay. In spite of it all, I stay and I serve, because love is my greatest reward. Some days I feel very insecure. There really is no way my safety to ensure. It's worst on the dementia patients ward. A couple of the men hit others when they're bored. For no reason I could see Frank Street and punch me in the head. The constant threat of violence overwhelms my mind with dread. You'd think that I could put my fears away, but I can't, because some clash happens almost every day. In spite of it all, I stay and I serve, because love is my greatest reward. My folk inspire me every single day. I see their vibrant spirits, though their bodies are in decay. They show me what it means to live with grace, as they endure a diaper change with a smile upon their face. Old people are so beautiful, with lives they've lived so well. It's sad to hear the end of life, it's sometimes hard to tell. I wish that I could have more time to serve. It hurts I can't provide the kind of care that they deserve. They are the reason I stay and I serve, because love is my greatest reward. I try to do the best job I can do, and I do it every day until my shifts are through. My wish is for a kinder form of care. Our elders should have better than what's on offer here. Old people are so beautiful, without a word of lie. Every day they teach me how to live and how to die. And when they pass, The gurus tell us we can all be happy if we choose. I figured I would try it, I had not a thing to lose. So I thought I'd try to find a way this COVID thing is good. I wanted to find several things about it if I could. My house and yard are happy that I am so often here. My garden wants attention in this season of the year. Because I'm home, I have the time to give it what it needs. The care and love and tending will ensure that it succeeds. When you really start to looking for things you think are good, you end up finding many more than you ever thought you would. I found it very helpful to take on this exercise. The outcome reinforces why you think you are wise. Because I'm sticking close to home, I use my car much less, and this in turn will help my carbon footprint to suppress. I'm buying less of everything and minding not at all. Then I never was one to spend much time at the mall. When you really start to looking for things you think are good, you end up finding many more than you ever thought you would. I found it very helpful to take on this exercise. The outcome reinforces why it really is profound that you can choose what you will see. I thank the sages of the past for showing this to me. Now I really need to find a way to terminate this song. If I just kept this thing all it could, it would go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. When you really start to looking for things you think are good, you end up finding many more than you ever thought you would. I found it very helpful to take on this exercise. The outcome reinforces why we think gurus are wise. The outcome reinforces why we think gurus are wise.
Thank you, Jim. What a pleasure to have music again. And with that, my next part of this program is a real joy because it was 33 years ago that today's speaker came to Red Deer and began what is now Center for Spiritual Living. At that time was Center for Positive Living. And he has been with us off and on since, although he no longer lives in our community. So, and also, this is the man who is responsible for my having been here for the last 20, 30 years.
Yep,
28,
30,
27,
yeah.
something like that, because I walked in one Sunday morning because a couple people made me. They insisted and they wouldn't let up until I showed up. And I listened to Reverend Doug. And I never missed a Sunday after that unless I was really ill. So without further ado, I welcome my teacher, my guru, Reverend Doug Craig. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Judy. That was nice. Thank you very much. What a lovely introduction. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone this morning? It was actually 33 years and 3 weeks ago, but who's counting? That we opened the doors here in Red Deer at the center. Well, today my talk is called What's Evolution Without Love? And of course, that's continuing on with the CSL theme of the month, the Soul's Call. And the first thing that come to my mind when I read that was the answer, what's evolution without love? A disaster of epic proportions is what it is. And we could see that evidenced in the world around us because of what we've evolved into with obviously the good part about what we've evolved into is because of the love that's happening. And the other stuff is just areas for vast improvement, as you could see. So that's going on in the world right now. But I'd like to start it out by doing a salute to Father's Day today. And a salute to all the fathers that are here or not here, and all the ladies that had to be father and mother, and all the people that have the masculine or the father principle within them, as we all do, and the feminine principle. So today, as we honor that, that's the masculine principle, the father within us, where we actually choose our own destiny because we choose what to focus in on, and the feminine principle in our life produces those kind of results. I want to focus on a particular group of fathers today because I think in their day they were grossly misunderstood. Today there's a lot more awareness, but I want to fit a particular group called veterans. Today we're treating the veterans a lot more. We know about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, which a lot of our veterans are coming back with, the young people. But nobody talked about it in the days when you got the combat veterans coming back after 2 to 4 years of combat. My father was one of those combat veterans. He had 250 active combat missions of dropping supplies to the British Army that was driving the Japanese out of northern India and Burma back over to the Chinese border, back into China. And something that happened on his experience with that absolutely was so profound to me, and is even more profound to me because of the lesson that was from it, was an event that happened to my father. The war was winding down. It was in the latter part of 1945, and most of the heavy-duty dropping and the military work was done. So what they were charged with now was dropping supplies to the Burmese people in the rural areas that were absolutely starving because they were ravaged by war and the Japanese taking everything on their retreat. So they were doing this, and so they were on a mission, and my dad's best buddy and him were taken off to do the mission, and they were going to meet over by Mandalay, which after their drop near the Chinese border, for a beer, and they were talking and they took off. My dad never heard from his buddy again, as his best friend. Nobody ever heard from him again. Nobody knew what happened to him. They just disappeared. And my dad was the last person to talk to him. So as time goes along, the war stories go on, you hear about it, but a guy doesn't think nothing of it, eh? My dad was very staunch. He only ever hugged me twice in his life, handshake. I seen a couple of tears in his eyes when my sister and brother died, and my mom. But I never seen my dad cry. Only once. Only once. And it had a profound impact on me, because 50 years after that day, a hunter in the jungles of Burma come across a downed Canadian aircraft, and it had a watch on the skeleton. He took into the affairs, and they got a hold of the Canadian military, and it was my dad's buddy in his plane. And so the Canadian government organized a big deal to go over and research and get all the remains out, and they were buried in the nearest Canadian military cemetery in Rangoon, Burma. My dad was mad at the government because he wanted to go over with the guys and get them out of the jungle, but he was just a little too old for that. He wasn't wise. But they did take all the relevant people, and they flew them all over to Burma for in a military plane for a relevant memorial and burial, and they produced a 46-minute documentary, if anybody's interested. It's in the National Film Board of Canada. It's called Lost in Burma. My dad's one of the main people towards the middle and latter part about it. And so, coming back now to the story and how it leads into what we're going to talk about a little later today, and today, is that man carried that for 50 years, that pain inside of him. And I had no idea, and nobody else did, like a lot of those veterans did. They just kept it sealed inside. But on the day my dad got the news, I saw him collapse on the floor on his knees and just cried and cried and cried and sobbed. And I'm going, holy crap, this is really big time stuff. Because now he could take it to the level that he needed to take it to. It's called closure, folks. Closure. Keep that in mind. That was one of the greatest gifts that he gave me from his journey being that staunch guy in that breakdown. Because now he had closure. After that, he was a different man. His life changed. He was a lot more nicer and open. He didn't carry around that edge anymore, because a lot of that meanness was gone, that he was carrying around that pain inside. So remember that. We're going to come back to that closure, but that's a very important thing to do in our life. We need to come to closure. Don't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be war. Doesn't have to be everything. But we need closure on the past, because that's what it is. It does not serve us for moving forward. Case closed. If you're going to dwell in that, you got a problem. We are moving on. And that's what the talk is all about, evolution. So evolution in the spiritual context, Dr. Holmes said, evolution is the awakening of the soul to recognition of its unity with the whole. And change is a fundamental nature of the universe. It don't matter what you do or what happens. If you haven't noticed, change happens. So it's not a matter of whether it's going to happen or not. And it's not a matter of whether we're going to change or not. We are going to change. We might as well be part of the process, because what we do now is what we're going to change into. We will evolve into something more than we are now. And of course, if we do nothing and it doesn't matter, that's called lethargy, apathy, and complacency. So if we do that and leave it to chance, then you have no idea what you may evolve and change into. And I could tell you from the first 30 some odd years of my life that if you don't get involved with changing in an affirmative way, it just gets worse. The hole gets deeper. Until you figure out it ain't going to get any better till I stop digging. Okay? So we got to stop digging. We got to take charge of the fact that we're going to change. And nobody really likes dealing with change because it's difficult letting go of the old and coming into the new. But it's very, very important. So where does that go with that? Well, it goes in to one of the basic premises and laws of the universe that we're constantly working with every day, whether you know it or not. It's called the law of circulation. Be real clear. Now there's another element here we don't talk about a lot that's really a problem causer itself if we don't do it properly. So it's receiving, using, and giving. So it's not just giving and receiving, it's also the using concept. Circulation, assimilation, and elimination. That's my favorite treatment, my favorite affirmation. I now experience perfect circulation, assimilation, and elimination in all of my bodily functions, all of my physical affairs, all of my mental affairs, and all of my emotional affairs. Try that on for size, but you better be prepared for a ride, because you're going to get into some of that process. Dr. Holmes said, one of my favorite things is a declaration. There are no obstructions to the operation of truth. And Dennis Merritt Jones in The Art of Abundance said, remember that being in the flow means wisely accepting or receiving, utilizing or using, and then extending or giving or releasing the energy of abundance irrespective of the form in which it comes. So it can come, everything that we do in our life has that same thing, whether you know it or not. Well, just do a checkup from the neck up and the neck down. Have you noticed your breathing? Inhale, use, exhale. Wow. How about the heart? Pump it in, pump it out, and use the circulation and the flow right there, right? How about having lunch, using it, and then later? Perfect. So you see, the law of what we're talking about, everything that we're talking about here, is absolutely functioning 100% in our body all the time, and we're just not aware of it. If we take time to think about the process, then we can apply it in everything we do. We can't just do it in one area and expect everything to get good. Well, I'm doing good with my money. I got lots of it. Keeps coming. I keep going and all that, but my health's gone all to hell. I said hell because that's where it can go. We have to work it in the health. We have to work it in the 7 departments of life. Every area of our life requires that same attention of not only receiving and giving properly, but also utilization. I remember old John, I was thinking about this, it popped into my mind about utilizing, and that means money. Old John was a bachelor, never got married, lived in kind of a shanty, but he was a hoarder of money. He actually died with a couple of $1 million somebody else got. But I remember we were growing up as kids and young guys who used to like to get on to John. John always had 2 wallets, one with a bunch of change and a few dollar bills, and the other one with the big money. But that was in the back. All he let you see was this one. So he used to say, "Hey, John, I hear you're retired, got a good pension now. I guess you're buying breakfast." Whoa! He'd go, "Oh, no, I don't have my poor guy. Look at this," he said. He'd take his money out and throw it. "Not much, I can't do that." And so we used to do it just to see the routine that he went through. But there's lots of people like that. That doesn't mean you have to go spend everything you got. But you got to be able to utilize your money, utilize your food, utilize your talents, utilize your abilities, utilize what's good about you, utilize where you could be of service, right? Circulation and flow. And remember, one of the important things is to be good at all of them. Doesn't matter if you're good at 2 out of 3 with your heart or your lungs or your digestive system. If you're 2 out of 3, then you got a problem. If you're 2 out of 3 here, just like in your digestive system, you could suffer from constipation. The only difference here is it can be spiritual constipation. So we have to make sure we're utilizing what we're giving, receive with gratitude and thanksgiving, and in return, make sure we're giving. And when the gift leaves the hand, it's out of your realm and jurisdiction unless you got an attachment to it. It doesn't matter what the person does with it at all. That's none of your business. I just went through that with someone. My brother wanted me to get him a flat of beer for fixing it. Old Larry's a good guy. He just wanted to do that. And he was telling me about, doing something for a lady, and she kept trying to give him something. He said, "Well, don't try to give me something," because he says, "I do this for my soul." Now I'm trying to give him something. He's trying to give me the 24-pack, a 6-pack back. I don't do that, Larry. And he said, "Well, maybe somebody wants it." I said, "No, that's not how it works, Larry. I gave you the gift. I'm done. I'm out of this. What you do with it is your business. All you got to do is say thank you. Just like you did to that lady. Because I do this and my brother does this for our soul." Okay? So always remember, you got to learn to be a good receiver, and you got to learn to give a good giver with no attachment, and you have to learn to be a good user. Other than that, you get an obstruction. And spiritually, you might need a spiritual laxative or something. Okay? To get rid of all of that. And so the last idea I want to touch on here is the theme they talked about timeless wisdom, the science of mind principles, oneness, freedom, and love. And of course, oneness is that there is only one life. I don't care what shape, what size, what sex, what gender, what color it is. You notice everything about all those people? They're alive. So we all share that one life. Ernest Holmes said, we all receive some light, and that light is the same light. There is one nature diffused throughout all nature, God incarnated in all peoples. So we got to get that to the oneness. That'll help us get away from this judgment that we need to get away from. Freedom. Freedom is a birthright of every individual. We are free to choose and create our experience in life. And I always say we're only restricted by our negative belief system. And our negative belief system, I call that, I was a prisoner of my own mind. And that's the negative beliefs. And any of those kind of things are just like what Frederick Douglass said on the consequence of slavery. He says, no man could put a chain around the ankle of his fellow man with at last finding the other fastened around his own neck. So when we hold on to those negative things about people and circumstances and situations and ourselves, we become a slave chained to the ankle of that negativity. And it's up to us to sever that, because it's not a real thing, it's a false thing, and it has no room in our consciousness unless we entertain it and allow it. That's the thing that we've got to work on to get to the point of freedom. And the last one he talks about is love. Of course, we all know that. We all hear this all the time. It is written by the CSL. It's the self-givingness of the universal spirit through its desire to express itself in terms of creation. Love is the impulse, and law is the way of creating. Now, Dr. Holmes has his quote about this. It's really good. He said, love is the central flame of the universe, nay, the very fire itself. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. Nice quote. So I have a benchmark I just realized recently about that, about how love's doing in my life. And when I was looking at it, I've been taking, say, the last 7 years. And, of course, it's the backyard and the mountains, okay? And my backyard's been the same thing, trees and all that for 7 years. And the mountains ain't changed since I've been doing it my whole life. But you know, they're different this year. And I'll be darned if they weren't different last year. And it's just different inside of me. God, I love it. And the only reason I could have that capacity to experience that more now than what I did before is it's growing in increments, because, you know, I'm learning to love myself more. And there is a fundamental challenge, folks. Because you can say, I love other people more and I love myself. Well, I'm going to give you a BS on that one. That's the wrong belief system, BS. Okay? Because love is not an intellectual thing, it's a feeling thing, and you can only experience it one place. It's in here. So you can only have it here. It doesn't matter what you project upon, it's only here. So if you want to love more, you have to love yourself more. And then you have a greater sense of what love is to experience it. The rest of it's intellectual, and sure, you could do it intellectually, no problem, and you can be right. But what do you want to be right about? That's what you got to ask yourself. St. Thomas Aquinas said, my soul has a purpose. It is to love. If I do not fulfill my heart's vocation, I suffer. That's what we're here to do. That's the fundamental nature of our being. And the fundamental nature of our being in this universe is that we're always growing. And the only thing in this whole universe that tries to stifle growth and stop it is a human being. And you can't do that. You're going to continue to grow and expand. So I'll leave you with a thought. When you're green, you're growing. When you're ripe, you rot. So stay green, and so it is. Thank you.
Hello again, and thank you, Reverend Doug. Giving and receiving and using. Great message. And we come to the prosperity portion of our program. So let's read our prosperity affirmation together if you have it in front of you. To me, all is given. Through me, it is used and generously shared. The open channel that I am admits no impediment. The flow is constant, to, through, and from me. With a grateful heart, I rejoice, knowing that all is God and all is good, and so it is. And for your giving, for those of you who are here in person, we have a basket up front here, and you can just drop your envelope into it. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, we'll get back to our old, somewhere near our old normal, and we could pass the baskets around person to person, etc. But for now, we do it this way. And if you're watching from home, if you choose, you can help to support our center. You can help to keep our doors open by either phoning and saying, hey, I want to be a committed giver. Can you send me one of those forms so I can have my bank send money every month to the center? So that's one way, and if you choose, you can go to our website, www.cslreddeer.org, and there is a donate button there, and you can donate through PayPal or through a credit card. And if you're still living with written checks, you can write a check and you can send it to Center for Spiritual Living, Box 28075, Red Deer, T4N7C2. So thank you for that. And I expect Jim has another song for us.
Another song that I wrote. This is one I think Doug will identify with. It's called My Walking Song. And the last line of the song, which is repeated, is a shout out to Captain Tom, as he's known. Sadly, since the last time I was here and sang this, Captain Tom got COVID and he died in February this year. But he's the guy who, shortly before his 100th birthday, started walking with his walker in front of his house to raise money for the National Health System charities. He was hoping to raise £1,000. By the time his birthday came around, it went viral. He raised about £30 million and got knighted by the Queen. And he said, sadly, he passed away in February. I love to walk on beaches and feel sand between my toes. I love to walk in forests with their bouquets for my nose. I love to walk in badlands underneath a brilliant sky. And hiking in the mountains always makes my spirits high. I love to walk in nature everywhere it seems. It helps me to connect with both my memories and dreams. I walk for many reasons in addition to the joy. For working out life's issues, it is useful to employ. If I face a tough decision or my mind is filled with doubt, often when I'm walking, I can sort my thinking out. It also gives me respite from a difference growing hot. If I'm charged with uptight energy, I walk till I'm not. Walking is my medicine, it helps me to unwind. It limbers up proceeded its supply. And hiking through it can put you in touch with the divine. I cannot hike forever, it is pointless to bend. But with a walker I can keep on walking till the end. With a walker I can keep on walking till the end. Thanks. I wanted to come today. We're talking about closer. I've sold my house, and I'm getting ready to move to the West Coast. So I didn't want to just fade away and not show up again. So I'd like to thank the presenter for the contribution it has made to my life.
Well, thank you again, Jim. And I'm so sorry you're leaving our community, but I know you have a grandson on the West Coast. Two of them. All right. Well, blessings wherever you go. And with that, let's read our closing affirmation together. I go about my day from one precious moment to the next, making the conscious choice to fully experience each moment, moving with ease and grace through each experience. Spirit within me knows how, and I listen and respond. All is well, and so it is. And now just join me for a closing spiritual mind treatment, or you may wish to call it affirmative prayer. But just know with me the good of this day, the joy, the beauty, the grace, the love, the abundance, the pure bliss of being. And as I acknowledge that bliss, I know that it is an individual choice to experience life from the inside out, from the outside in, at the center and at the circumference. Life is good. God is good. I am good. Good is, every one of us is good, with the potential to unfold a greater good for our community and our world. I give loving thanks, knowing it is so, and so it is. And with that, I would just like some volunteer, like Diane maybe, to come and pass out a flower to the gentlemen that are here. Because we do want to acknowledge our fathers, whether they're with us on this plane of existence or whether they've moved on. So just know that we are truly blessed by whether we want to call it the masculine principle or the father within or the father that's at home eating lunch. Blessings to all. Thank you for being with us.